Why do you care that this character is black? It's a good question. Because Norse mythology isn't real. The first game even forced in an Irish guy. Did you care about that? No? So, why does Angerboda trigger so many people? Why does this feel wrong? Well, the answer has to do with a German cat magazine from 1931. Once upon a time, a man named Victor Klemperer really loved cats. He started a cat magazine, and cat enthusiasts rejoiced. But one day, a certain group of people took over. I will refer to them as the parade people, because they loved to throw parades. One day, Victor gets a letter from the Minister of Parades, who was very concerned about this cat magazine. The letter read, "Victor, I am very concerned about this cat magazine. We would like your magazine to reflect our lived experience. Please respond, or we will ruin your life. Thanks." This might seem bizarre to you, but you have to understand why the parade people wanted to take over a cat magazine. Well, there's a word for this strange phenomenon. Gleichschaltung. More on this in a minute, but first, what the fuck does this have to do with a creative writing subcontractor who might have ruined a couple video games? Take my hand, throw your crazy pills down the garbage disposal, and I will show you how deep this rabbit hole goes. SweetBabyInc is a Canadian narrative development and consultation studio. Founded by former Ubisoft developers, including scriptwriter Kim Belair, the company focuses on enhancing video game narratives. SweetBabyInc has collaborated on several well-known titles such as God of War, Ragnarök, Alan Wake 2, and Spider-Man 2. Their involvement can vary from minor script contributions to significant narrative consultation. The company has faced significant online criticism from some gamers who perceive their work as pushing a woke agenda. This backlash intensified in early 2024 when some SweetBaby employees attempted to have a critical Steam group removed, which escalated the controversy due to the Streisand effect, where drawing attention to something inadvertently increases its visibility. According to Google, there have been various conspiracy theories about the company that it was responsible for changing game narratives against the developer's original intentions. These theories have, quote, been largely debunked by industry insiders and journalists. I wanted to get to the bottom of this, so I took a bunch of gray market stimulants and watched 12 straight hours of Kim Belair interviews. I can't post them here, because Kim would have my channel pulled down. I know you're watching, Kim, and let me tell you, I'm down with the swirl, baby girl. Slip into my DMs. So, the first question is SweetBaby a DEI company or a mere script doctor subcontractor, like the kind commonly used in Hollywood? Well, I've read literally everything Kim has publicly said, and 90% of it is about activism, representation, and oppression. Occasionally, she will tie this into a video game, but it's usually about video game activism, representation, and oppression. It's extremely gay. In Kim's own words, she started in normie marketing, but jumped ship when offered a community manager position at Ubisoft, where she eventually became an entry-level writer. If you've watched my Dragon Age video, this might sound familiar. Corinne Boucher, a trans person who directed Dragon Age Veilguard, had almost exactly the same career trajectory, quickly rising through the ranks via fake email jobs like community manager. Probably unrelated, but Canada used to offer a 5% tax credit for the salaries of marginalized employees. During the BLM pandemic combo of 2020, Kim started her consulting company. So, what do they do exactly? In Kim's words, she has a history of, quote, sensitivity consulting. I get paid to answer, is this game racist? End quote. Think of a sensitivity consultant like a home inspector, someone who shows up to a new construction site and makes sure you use the right kind of deck screws or whatever. Except, instead of deck screws, it's making sure no one in a video game is racist. But Kim noticed a problem with her sensitivity work. It was included too far down in the production pipeline, and by then, it was too late to change anything. This is the genius of SweetBaby. A company can hire their merry band of woke writers, which allows sensitivity to be baked into the process from day one. She hires other marginalized people, who get their friends hired, who are also marginalized people. The most generous way to view this is as a political patronage system, a networking group that rewards friends and punishes enemies. For example, trade unions. In cities like New York, Chicago, and Boston, where construction unions played a pivotal role in perpetuating racial nepotism. Unions were often dominated by white ethnic groups, Irish, Italian, German, who controlled job access through apprenticeships and work assignments. This is pretty common, by the way. According to a recent study by Forbes, over 90% of new jobs created in Fortune 500 companies in 2020 went to people of color. Here's another fun fact. The two biggest equal opportunity lawsuits in American history were recently filed due to Black and Hispanic Americans using racial patronage to fight for manufacturing jobs. So, yeah, that's kind of fucking dark, isn't it? No pun intended. So the next question is, how much control does Sweet Baby actually have? Are they to blame for games like God of War 2 stumbling? Well, I have to be straight with you guys. Based on my research, I think Kim is being honest when she says they mostly do punch-ups and minor tweaks. B-team dialogue, side quests, stuff like that. After all, Sweet Baby is mostly made up of ambitious but inexperienced industry outsiders. So they wouldn't be able to... Oh my god. It's on their website? It's on their fucking website. They race-swapped Angerboda. In fact, in an interview, Kim was asked if she could change characters, and she said yes, she could make slight changes. She went on to discuss how the Victorian era wasn't white, and recommended a book called The Black Victorians. She later discussed women fighting on the front lines of World War I, and says that she pushes these ideas in order to decolonize the world. In her words, everything is political. This is why I brought up Germany earlier. Would the parade people care about minor characters in a video game? Absolutely. If they spent time controlling a fucking cat magazine, you bet your ass they would get involved in the fastest growing media industry in history. So, back to Gleichschaltung, from the German words Gleich, same, and Schaltung, circuit, and was derived from an electrical engineering term, meaning that all switches are put on the same circuit, so that all can be activated by throwing a single master switch. Newspapers, radio, films, and literature were censored or controlled to propagate parade people ideology. Works that did not align with party views were banned, and artists and writers were pressured to conform, allowing the infiltration of politics into literally everything. Movies, kids' shows, cereal box mascots, libraries, holiday song lyrics, candy, sports, razor blade advertisements, flags, bathrooms, shoe companies, kids' scouting groups, Halloween costumes, everything. This is why Angerboda makes people upset. They just wanted to read their fucking cat magazine, man. And look, it's a low blow to compare Kim to the parade people. When I started this video, I figured she was a smart grifter who saw an opportunity and took full advantage of it. I don't think that anymore. In fact, I think Kim is a very cynical and hateful human being. She said in an interview that she knew about Me Too victims in the video games industry, but gave up on trying to help them. She also has a cat named Gray Man. Gray Man is a slur for white or light-skinned people of mixed race. The name is probably a play on words, referring to H.P. Lovecraft's cat, infamously named Bleeper Man. Get it? Bleeper Man, Gray Man. It's pretty twisted. People at her company have also tried to get YouTubers fired for making videos like this. And there's a ton of other stuff I could get into, like her views on attraction to animals, but you get the idea, and frankly, I don't want to go there. This is a fucking family show. Thank you very much. I think the real question people are interested in is, how much is Sweet Baby to blame for the bad writing in recent games? And honestly, we'll probably never know for sure. But put yourself in the position of someone forced to work with Sweet Baby. A new, inexperienced group of writers gets suddenly brought on board to write with you. They have an idea about a story beat, and it's related to some marginalized group. Are you going to speak up and say it's a bad idea? Probably not. Maybe you start phoning it in after that. Who knows? Anyway, you guys have good instincts, and everyone immediately realized that Sweet Baby didn't pass the smell test. But you guys are focusing on the symptoms, not the illness. Diversity in God of War, trans flags in Spider-Man, it's annoying, yeah, I get it. But just like Victor Klemperer noticed, there's a much bigger issue here than our cat magazine. For example, did you know Google is being sued because their departments were taken over by different tribes from India's caste system, and that these tribes immediately began giving jobs to their friends and discriminating against their enemies? This is the balkanization of America. And this is what most of history has looked like, unfortunately. Tribes fighting tribes since the beginning of time. America, for all its faults, was a unique moment in history where people agreed to drop the tribalism, to work towards something greater. That moment in time is probably over. We're slowly changing into a new society where the only question that matters is who controls the cat magazine. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Help me game the system, like we're a couple of Indian Brahmins taking over Google. Never black pill, friends. We are going to win.